I'm here on the Oregon coast with my family for spring break, and we're gonna go digging razor clams tomorrow, and I cannot wait. So join us on this adventure going after razor clams. So you want to be out clamming 2 hours before low tide is what Bill said. Bill Taylor, our clamming guide here north of Seaside, Gerhardt, Oregon. Are you excited, Evie?
Yep.
Even goes, so then on the other side of the Columbia, you can even see kind of like hills back that way.
Yeah.
That's Washington.
Okay.
So there's a big sand flat out in the ocean here from the alluvial floodplain created by the Columbia River running for, thousands, who knows how many years.
Right.
So it's a big flat floodplain of silt and sand, and it goes 3-4 miles out.
Okay.
And razor clams love that type of habitat because when the waves come in to shallow water like that with flat sand, it doesn't dig the clams out. They're able to survive. A lot of times what we'll do is the old timers will dig with these shovels, but what I'm using them for is percussion. So I turn them upside down like this and I hit the sand. Watch the sand kind of dry up right as I hit. You see that?
Yeah.
So I'm throwing percussion down into the sand, and the clams will sense that, and they'll pull their neck down. And then there's one. So we're gonna identify them by hitting the sand like that. And what we're looking for is an indentation in the sand, and we want it to be round, perfectly round. If I saw that, I'd go, oh, there's a razor clam there. So there's going to be various other different animals in the sand here. And if we see not a perfect hole, not a perfect round hole like that, if it's going off to one side or something like that, that's not a razor clam. Razor clam's always going to have a perfect round hole. And then sometimes we're going to be in wet sand with water barely skimming over the top, and we can hit like this, and then all of a sudden we see a hole, and then it all of a sudden disappear because sand's filling over with the water. But you're like, oh, it was right there. So whenever we want to go after a razor clam, let's say that's the hole, I want to perfectly try and get my clam gun right over that hole. That's not perfect, but that's good enough. And then I'm going to start working my way down to him. And here I'm in the dry sand, so it's harder to get down to. There's a little hole underneath here, and if I put my finger over the hole, I'm going to stand on my shovel too, so it doesn't get washed away by the waves. I can lift up.
Wow.
All right.
Is that about as far as you need to go down?
No, I need to go way further.
Got it. Okay.
And the clam will barely be sticking his neck out, and water will hit, and as it's receding out to sea, and it'll make a V in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'll be looking for V's. So you have tide, swing, tide, swing. Big incoming tides, and tides.
Right there. Nice.
All right, there's one right there. Up. And lift. Oh, look out. We're going to put sand right where you're at. Drop. There he is. There he is.
Evie, hold that. Oh,
I got it.
got him?
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
then you can like put them in the windowsill and the sun will shine through them and there's nice little rays.
Oh, really?
They're pretty neat. I always have all these little rays that you're seeing
Yep.
will show
Yeah.
through in the sun.
Oh, sure.
Now this is a dull Sodbuster Junior knife that
Okay.
I'm running here.
Intentionally dull.
I want dull, yeah. So I'm cutting along here. I
Yep.
clip the abductor muscle and then another one there. And now I'm going to cut the back side of that abductor muscle. And then this one, it'll roll right out. There's a number of ways that you can do this. People will use scissors and they'll open the clam up, and so that they basically have one full clam that they're going to cook. I don't generally do that. I break mine up. So I'm going to have a little pile of scallops, and I'm going to have what I call the neck and lips, and then the foot. So what I like to do now is just kind of come through and just do a quickie and get rid of some of the sand.
So the first step, pulling the 2 scallops off, very small. Okay, step 2, so after we got the scallops off, we're separating we're pinching up top by the neck.
And getting the gills away from the neck and siphon. I reach in there, up against the bottom of the neck, and I rake, and I pull off the gills. And then I rotate it, the foot down to the end. So now I got a foot and a siphon.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that I get back here far enough that it's all white meat. I want
Gotcha.
anything that's dark I don't want on there. And I'm coming the bottom hole of the siphon. Remember, it's a bivalve, so we got to cut 2. I cut through and I get both of those two things open. There's a little bit of gill there and a little bit of gill there. I want to get all that gill off. Here's what I do with feet. If you look at this, it looks like a boot with a little fluffy sock, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to come and I'm going to cut. I'm going to get that fluffy sock out of there, because what is that fluffy sock? That's the gills that we pulled off of the siphon.
So the foot, the guts there on the.
If you
inside of
notice
the
with
foot.
my right hand, what I'm doing is there's guts down in here. So I'm squeezing underneath. See that pop out of there?
So just holding that opening, that you cut and getting all the.
Plus I'm
out.
giving it another squeeze just in case.
Yeah. So final rinse of the neck.
There you go.
Aha!